Victor. That's the name Laura couldn't hold back anymore. She said it loud, sharp, and with every ounce of frustration she's been building up. Because tonight she didn't just speak, she called out what she calls the vindictive victors of the Democratic Party. And trust me, when Laura speaks, people listen. The studio lights were hot, the cameras rolling, and her tone, unapologetic. She accused key figures in the party of turning politics into personal warfare, saying it's no longer about serving people, it's about settling scores. The crowd went silent, then wild. Clips of that moment spread across social media faster than wildfire. Hashtags like hashtag Laura Speaks and hashtag Vindictive Victors started trending within minutes. People were either cheering or fuming. Laura said, "These victors aren't leading, they're punishing. They've mistaken winning elections for a license to destroy." Her words hit hard. She listed names, policies, and moments she said proved her point. Tax hikes, media bias, selective outrage. It all came pouring out. And what made it more explosive? She didn't read from a teleprompter. She spoke from the gut. Victor, the name she dropped, wasn't just a metaphor. It was personal. Some insiders believe she was calling out a top Democratic strategist known for his ruthless tactics behind the scenes. Others think Victor symbolizes the political elites who rise to power by tearing others down. Either way, Laura made sure the message was clear. She's done playing nice. Social media analysts say this could mark a major turning point in her public image. She's no longer just commenting on the news, she's challenging the system itself. But not everyone's applauding. Democratic spokespeople quickly fired back, calling her rant dangerous rhetoric and divisive spin. But Laura didn't back down. Hours later, she tweeted, "If telling the truth is divisive, then division is exactly what we need." Boom, mic drop. The tweet exploded, racking up millions of impressions and replies from fans saying she finally said what they've all been thinking. Meanwhile, others accused her of fear-mongering and fueling outrage for clicks. But Laura thrives in controversy. It's her stage. Behind the scenes, sources close to her team say she's gearing up for something bigger, maybe a new podcast, maybe a movement. Because this speech didn't sound like an accident. It sounded like a declaration. She's painting herself as the anti-establishment voice calling out hypocrisy wherever it hides. The vindictive victors, she said, are the ones who smile in public while silencing anyone who questions their agenda. And those words are still echoing. Victor, she said your name for a reason. She wasn't afraid, and she wasn't alone. People are tired, frustrated, and ready to follow voices that break the mold. Love her or hate her, Laura just lit a fuse that's not going out anytime soon. And the more people try to silence her, the louder she gets. Because that's the thing about calling out power. It echoes, it spreads, and it changes everything. Victor. You thought Laura was finished after that first explosion, but no, she just got started. Because now she's doubling down, saying the so-called vindictive victors aren't just running the Democratic Party, they're running the narrative of the entire nation. And she's calling it what it is: political bullying dressed up as progress. Her latest monologue hit harder than a campaign ad. She looked straight into the camera and said, "They don't debate anymore. They delete. They don't persuade. They punish." The audience froze. That line hit like thunder. People watching live said they could feel the tension through the screen. And then she named Victor again. This time not as a single person, but as a symbol of what she calls the power-drunk establishment. She claimed these victors celebrate censorship, cancellation, and control instead of democracy, dialogue, and dissent. Within minutes, clips of her speech went viral on X and TikTok. Hashtags like hashtag Laura vs. the left and hashtag Vindictive Victors started climbing the charts. Her supporters called it brave, raw, and overdue. Her critics called it dangerous and unhinged. But Laura, she didn't care. She even went live right after, sipping coffee and saying, if truth scares them, maybe they should stop hiding from it. That line alone turned into a meme, a t-shirt slogan, and 1,000 think pieces. Reporters flooded her DMs asking if she regretted anything she said. She replied with one word, never. Meanwhile, behind the political curtain, insiders whispered that certain party figures were furious. One aide even leaked that Laura crossed a line and could face serious consequences. But she's been in this game too long to back down. She told her followers that if speaking up costs her everything, so be it. That's why people are gravitating toward her. She's saying the things they wish they could say. And let's be honest, whether you agree with her or not, she knows how to keep the spotlight burning. Ratings are up, interviews are flooding in, and even her rivals can't stop talking about her. Some say she's becoming a political force of her own. Others say she's a firestorm waiting to explode. But that's the power of conviction. It doesn't fade, it spreads. Victor, she's still calling your name, still challenging your narrative, still daring you to respond. Because Laura didn't just expose a political game, she exposed a mindset. And once you pull that curtain back, there's no putting it down again. The vindictive victors may have power, but Laura's got something they can't control, the people's attention. And in today's world, that's the real victory. Victor, you really thought Laura was going to quiet down after the backlash, but you should have known better. She's not backing off. She's going full throttle because now she's naming more names, pointing fingers, and peeling back what she calls the rotten layers of the Democratic machine. Her tone has shifted from frustration to fire. You can't call yourself the party of the people while punishing the people who disagree with you, she said during her latest segment, her voice cutting through the noise like glass. The audience sat frozen, jaws tight, waiting for her next sentence. She continued, these vindictive victors don't win by earning respect. They win by silencing competition. Boom! That one line set the internet ablaze. Her mentions flooded with support, anger, threats, and applause all at once. It's chaos, but Laura thrives in chaos. Her critics tried to spin it, saying she's playing victim, but her supporters see something different, a truth teller surrounded by spin doctors. And the more they try to discredit her, the stronger her message gets. Victor, she's not just talking to you anymore. She's talking to everyone watching the show behind the show. The people tired of political games, fake smiles, and carefully scripted outrage. And she's saying what they've been whispering for years. Screenshots from Capitol conversations are leaking, and insiders claim that some party members are quietly admitting she's striking a nerve. Even journalists who usually ignore her are starting to cover her monologues because, love her or hate her, she's dominating the conversation. And what's really making the establishment nervous? Laura's not running for anything. She's untouchable. No campaign, no donors, no leash. Just a voice with a mic and millions of ears tuned in. That's power they can't buy and can't control. Her audience is growing fast. Young voters, independents, people from both sides who just want honesty. She's turning outrage into momentum. And now she's promising to release a series called The Vindictive Files, where she'll break down how media narratives are manufactured to make losers look like leaders. Everyone's waiting, and the suspense is unreal. Some are calling it brave journalism. Others call it political theater. But everyone's watching. Victor, you've officially become a symbol of everything she's fighting against. She's painting the picture of a system where winning isn't about policy, it's about payback. And she's daring you, daring all of them, to prove her wrong. But the silence from the other side says it all. They can't clap back without amplifying her even more. So they ignore her. But that's exactly what fuels her. Because Laura knows being ignored means she's hitting the right nerves. She's not afraid of the noise. She is the noise. And every time she says, "vindictive victors," another truth bomb drops. Another headline breaks. Another fan wakes up. This isn't just politics anymore. It's rebellion with a microphone. And Victor, whether you like it or not, she's making sure the world hears your name every time they say hers. Subscribe to this channel for more updates.